Okay. Good morning and welcome, everyone. My name is Charlene O'Connor, and I am a sweet Adeline. I am what they call I am what they call a barbershop brat. I was born and raised with barbershop singing. My mom, my dad, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, sisters, everybody. We all sang barbershop or still singing barbershop. I've been a sweet Adeline for 43 years. And out of the 43 years, I've had the great opportunity to be the frontline choreographer for 3 awesome choruses with 3 dynamic directors. And during that time, I also sang in many, many quartets. I'm a past quartet champion. I'm the director of Ovation, which is a chorus of quartet champions from Region 13. And I am the proud director of Voices Northwest. Yay, I see some hands in Voices Northwest. And last but not least, I love sharing anything and everything I learned to other sweet Adelines. So I'm excited to review with you the elements of visual communication, part A. But before I get started, I want to thank Sandy Smith for offering to be our host today. She'll take care of questions and answers. And well, I guess I have to do the answer part, but she'll take care of the questions. And she'll actually navigate us into breakout rooms later on. So we'll get that going. So let's go ahead and start. Here we go. Clip 1. Can we share? Okay, perfect. Playtime with visual communication, part A. Our goal today is setting a foundation using vocal skills, energy, unity, and body alignment while focusing on the foundation of characterization to building a complete and authentic audience connection. So now we're really going to get started. Vocal skills. The quality of vocal production or vocal skills contributes to the musical outcome. Now, this statement is a given. We all know the better we sing, the better our musical performance is going to be. And depending on the level of our vocal skills, we have the opportunity to add even more vocal skills to our performance. Some of those vocal skills might be tempo. We might have better vocal dynamics. We can introduce key changes. That's just to name a few, and they will help with our musical product. The more vocal skills we can share with our audience, the more engaged our audience is going to be. Plus, it's just that much more fun for us as well. Vocal skills are an integral part of the performer's ability to appeal to an audience. And what that means is, if musically we do not inspire the audience, and then we have a connection with the audience through musical, if that doesn't happen, no amount of visual communication will take any effect and will engage the audience. So we need to have these strong vocal skills. But it goes deeper than vocal skills. We need emotional vocal passion. Now, a lot of emotional vocal passion comes from those extra vocal skills that we can do, like the texture of our voices, tempo changes, tempo breathing, those kind of things. Those are the things that give us emotional vocal passion. But the most important thing of emotional vocal passion is where it comes from. And that emotional vocal passion through our vocal skills comes from singing from the heart. And I'm sure we've never heard that before. But the vocal skills and the emotional vocal passion comes from singing from the heart. If singing from the heart is done well and it is authentic, the audience can actually hear and feel that emotional vocal passion. So I hope that we keep working on our vocal skills so we can keep having that vocal emotion passion. Foundation, notes and words. Well, we can't have a story or vocal skills if we don't have notes and words. So obviously they're quite important. So I'm going to ask you on notes and words. Once you've know your notes and words to a song and you're going to tell a story, what tools using vocal skills do you or your chorus members use to begin to tell a story? So I'm going to ask Sandy if we can do a poll. Can we do a poll, Sandy?
Here you go.
Yeah, so what tools do you or your chorus use to help develop a musical style? Using vocal skills, thinking of that emotional vocal passion we're talking about, the tempos and all those things. Go ahead. I'll give you a few minutes. Sandy, if you can let me know and we have a few, that would be great.
I am not seeing anybody yet. Oh, here we go. We're getting some now.
Okay. Because I don't see them.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just watching. We've got.
Oh, louds and softs. That's good. Yep.
Yep.
Those vocal dynamics. Got to have those vocal dynamics.
We'll give them just another minute or so, Charlene. We've got about 40% who've put in answers.
Okay. If you want to go ahead and start telling me some of the answers, I'd appreciate that.
I'm not seeing them. So
Oh.
Give me a second here. Let's go ahead and just see them right now. I'm going to end the poll.
Okay.
And I'm going to view the details of the poll. So what we're getting is dynamic variances within a word or a
Perfect.
phrase.
Yeah.
We're getting creating a personal buy-in of what the song means.
That's
Dynamics.
Excellent. That's excellent. Good.
Speak the words as you would in conversation. Interpretation, breath plans, dynamics, exercises, placement of breaths, examine the lyrics and stories to internally incorporate the meaning and heart of the song, purposeful breaths, identifying places to restate our posture.
Nice. Nice.
Tempo alterations, theater background, I tell a story.
Wow.
Rhythm, dynamics, vocal inflections, urgency, volume. That's a few of those.
No, those are all excellent. Obviously, well, I already knew that Region 13, our singers, we are awesome. And we have great vocal skills. Those are great. Thank you. Let's go ahead and let's move on here. Let's go ahead and go on to energy. Energy. Energy is the life force of visual communication. Now, let me say that again. Energy is the life force of visual education. Energy propels the aspect of musical performance. Now, there are different levels of and kinds of energy that is needed to breathe life into our communication visually. And so one of the things that I think about when I think of energy, I always think about hearing a director say something like, I need more energy, give me more energy. I don't see enough energy. So there's different levels and different kinds of energy. So today we're talking basically about visual energy, but also we have to have the vocal energy as well. So they go hand in hand. So once again, we have different types and different levels of energy. So we hear our director say, give me more energy. I need to see more energy. I need to hear more energy. What do we do when we hear that? Now, a lot of times we might move back and forth. We might smile more. Let's see. We might take a planned move and make it bigger than it was supposed to be. Get louder. That's good. Thank you, Shelley. We do those kinds of things. We do what we think our director wants. But usually what happens when when we do that, when we do those moves. Sometimes, let's say we take a body language move and we make it big, or we make the choreography faster than it's supposed to be to try to give energy. What are some of the things that happen when we do those things? That makes a lot of sense. Sometimes affects our vocals, drop pitch, perfect. Lose unity, that's good. Tension, we get sync issues. Our tempo changes. We may not have enough breath support. A lot of the things that happen when our directors ask for energy out of sync, yes, or what our directors ask for is, it takes a lot of work and it doesn't happen overnight. And we have a tendency of getting a little frustrated when we're asked to put energy into either our vocal skills or just visual energy. It takes practice and it takes time, and that's okay. And another thing, as we're doing this, a visual energy, and we need to improve all the time. And as we improve, the energy gets better. And we must remember that energy comes from singing from the heart. We need to sing from the heart. Energy adds a special shine to the visual performance. Now, the special shine of energy helps not only the performer give all the extra visual stuff that we need to captivate our audiences, it also pulls us into the audience as well as pulling the audience into us. Did I say that right? The special shine can be as simple as having a believable smile, or standing up just a slightly taller. Those little things that we do make a difference in our visual energy. So for instance, I don't know if I'm big enough that you can see, but if I smile like this, or I can go, makes a difference. I am sitting up straight, but I can sit up ever so slightly straighter. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the visual energy can also add more vocal texture to our sound, believe it or not. So if we have energy and we lift just a little bit slightly, our vocal energy pops out. And that's where that emotional vocal passion can come from that we talked about earlier. Energy is the unseen element that transports the performance from the stage to the audience. Now, the presence of this unseen special element of energy can give a huge impact of our performance. It is a component that is desperately needed. This special energy, unseen energy, comes from, once again, the inside. When you're watching a musical production, let's say, that unseen energy is there constantly. And we may not even be aware that it's there. But that's like the third element of energy. You have your regular nonchalant energy. Then you have that little energy of spice that you give. And then you have that extra unseen energy that actually comes from our core. Once again, inside. So we have vocal energy that comes from the inside, singing from the heart. We've got regular visual energy, just what we do with our chorus directors, and we just kind of stand up and sing and give more energy. Or we can give this unseen emotional element of energy. And that emotional energy that we're talking about comes from the inside, and not always just from the heart, but it comes from the core. Say, audience, eyes continue to return to a particular singer. Absolutely, that's true, it does. But this unseen element is probably the strongest thing that we can do for any musical performance that we give ourselves or that we go to. This unseen element of energy, really, believe it or not, is a class that we could do all on its own. And maybe someday we can do that. And we can do it in person, so we all can actually play with it a little bit more. Energy takes the performance from routine and turns it into magic. Now, this is where that unseen special shine element comes into play. When the physical energy turns to that unexpected magic, both the performer and the audience can actually connect And there's that magic of musical connection, visually, musically, and wonderful connection with the audience. And we call that magical audience connection, if you want to know. We need to have emotional, physical strength to give this special shine of this extra unseen element of passion, texture, energy. And like I said before, this too comes from the core. So I'm going to try to see if you can see me do this. This unseen element actually comes from, here we go. I'm going to smile, hi. Then I have hi. And now I have hi. Can anybody see the difference in there? That unseen element, I wish you could see everything. That unseen element actually is really coming from my core. So obviously I'm using my vocal skills, talking, whatever, but I also, as I'm sitting up straight, that core pushes. So if everybody just sit there, sit up straight, and we're going to just say hi. And then we're going to smile and put another hi in and put some energy behind that hi. Hi. And now we're going to think about the internal core and go, hi. Can you feel some passion in your core when you do that? And when we sing that way, that's the unseen element that gives emotional vocal passion. So not only emotionally, but visually, there's that extra element of passion. And that's what comes across the footlights and makes our performances so exciting. So let's, I'm gonna ask you, so how many of you have been to a musical production and you've been in the audience and there's that unseen energy? You've had that, and that unseen energy is good, thank you, is something that's there all the time. So I want to ask you, if you've been to a musical production and you've had that energy, what was that energy that made that magical moment? Can we have just a show of hands and someone can share the production they saw and the kind of energy? Deborah, can Deborah unmute?
I was just at a musical live theater yesterday, and I never once thought they weren't the character they were performing.
Perfect.
They were the character. They were authentic.
Perfect. That's good. Thank you. Authentic. That's perfect. Emotion, types of emotion. And once again, we just demonstrated the emotion when we're on stage and we're performing and we sing hello, and we can go hello, or we can take that special element and use our core with our vocal energy, with our heart, and go hello. There is that energy, there is that passion, there's that pulling our audience in to our performance. So they can actually hear, and they're breathing with us. They are connected. There's that magical moment, and that all comes from inside with the vocal skills, but then visual communication. What Deborah just says, it makes it authentic. That's excellent. Anybody else have a musical production they went to? Sandy.
Well, you said the word connection, and that's when the entire ensemble is connected at the same level, whether it's, like a bit part or the lead, they're at the same attention.
Yes, that's good. That's good. That's true. And it happens. And that's what's so wonderful about these musical productions that we can learn so much from, is the hours that they spend working, using their core to deliver their message, whether they're talking or singing. They have the internal energy, that emotional vocal passion, and that unseen special shine of energy visually, all working together. Excellent. That's good. So let's go ahead and let's move on to unity. I like it. Part of this moves on as combined with the excitement and of the audience. That's perfect. Okay, unity. Now, first off, up in the far left corner, there's a cute quartet up there, and I want to acknowledge and thank my dear friend Carolyn Huber for allowing me to use this picture of her quartet from way back when, or I should just say back when. Carolyn's in front and her mom's in that picture as well. And this picture was taken in 1966. Carolyn was just a little girl, well, a young teenager, we'll say. And she doesn't remember the name of the quartet, but she does know that they sang, I want to make sure I get this right. Where is it? They sang Where the Black-Eyed Susans Grow and Alice Blue Gown. But notice how their unit, they kind of look like a clone. They're all looking the same. They have Alice Blue Gown, it just dawned on me. They're wearing blue, so that's probably one reason they sang Alice Blue Gown. But we don't have to look like clones anymore. Notice their white wigs, lovely. But I'm really glad we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to look like clones. So like Unity does not require that all performers appear as clones. But that's beautiful. And thank you again, Carolyn, for letting me use that picture. I appreciate it. All members are encouraged to bring their own unique selves to the stage to communicate, to contribute to the overall visual picture. Now, you will see in the middle there, that's Capital City Chorus in the middle with their beautiful costumes on. And you can notice that's a beautiful unit look. They're all wearing the same costume, but they all have their own individual emotional pose that they're giving. So obviously they were told to do excitement or Yahoo or something, but they all are doing their own thing, but it's all the same emotion. So they still have unity in their look. Another one up here in the right, pictures are much, oh, the pictures aren't showing up on the screen. Do you get the pictures? Oh, okay. Someone said they weren't getting the pictures. I'm sorry. Okay, we go back. So then you see Capital City Chorus, like I said, with their beautiful costumes. And I love that you can see the energy with their own move and then their facial expressions. Up in the far right corner is a small portion of West Coast Harmony doing one of their incredible performances just not too long ago in Phoenix, where they took 6th in the world, which is so exciting. I'm so excited for them. 6th in the world. I got to be there and watch it in person. It was fabulous. Anyway, you notice on their Unity, they all have their own costumes. They pick their own style, but they're all wearing black. So it keeps the unit. But if you notice closely, they all are singing with obviously the same vocal passion because their facial expressions are the same. So even though their costumes are different, they still have a unit look because like someone said before, they've all bought in, they're all looking with the same visual energy. And obviously they sang with incredible vocal skilled energy as well. So we have our clones on the upper left, and then we have two different looks of unity within the choruses, and they both work really good. And I'm ahead of my notes. My goodness, this is great. Audience connection is enhanced when performers eliminate visual distractions, which might take away from the main focus, which is our visual communication of a performance. Visual distractions, oh my gosh. What exactly are visual distractions? Have you ever seen any visual distractions? Can someone just kind of jot some down in the chat room? A flat face, yes. A dull face, yes, that's good. I like that one. Another visual. Person not looking at the director. Oh, darting eyes, maybe. Well, okay, Deborah just said wandering eyes, yes. Ill-fitting costume, that's one of my big bugaboos. Oh my goodness, your eyes go right to the costume. Yes, one singer out of sync with, yes, you guys are awesome. Waving hands. Yep, that's true. Keep going, these are good. You've never seen any of these, obviously. Or not moving. That's true, that's good too. Anybody else? Have any of you, by raise of your hand, have any of you without realizing, not in character. True, that's really good. Not knowing the music. Oh my goodness. Yes. And we think, I will say, we as directors, the overdo the head movement and facial expressions. Yes, there can be the well, a lot of us are overachievers, and sometimes that happens. And that goes back to our part with energy. People are giving sometimes too much energy, and therefore they're visually distracted. Miscommunication of movement with the message of the song. That's good. That is really good. I love the darting eyes one. We think when we're up performing and we're insecure about our storyline or our character or whatnot, and we're standing there and we're moving and we think we're doing everything. A move's coming up and we kind of dart our eyes and we think that no one can see us. And someone else mentioned not knowing not knowing the music or the storyline. Someone mentioned that, and that's real obvious when we all are pretty good at watermelon. Eyes are closed for extensive amount of time. That's another good one. Thank you, Cindy. These are all great. Let's see. I want to see if you said something that I have don't have on my list. You did that visual. You guys hit all of them. Smart, smart, smart. So visual distractions. So to get away from visual distractions or to help hone in on visual distractions, planning and executing a unit performance is important. It helps. Once again, planning and executing a unit performance to help the visual. No smiles if everyone is smiling. That's a good one. And sometimes, thanks for bringing that up, the smiles. Once again, these smiles are these visual distractions through smiles. This once again shows how people are just not comfortable or don't understand the need of that unseen element of energy. That's what it is. And you go one step again, go back a little bit more for that emotional vocal passion. People are there. We all think we're smiling. We're all giving whatever we can. But if we haven't had the opportunity to learn to give the emotional vocal passion, singing from the heart, even though we're told to do that, sometimes we need the extra support and help to know how to do it. And that comes from the core, learning that unseen element of energy. That's once you learn that core energy, then your smile that you think you're giving, which is beautiful, but not enough to get, like we say, across the footlights, using the core, that makes it happen. So yes, that smile is a distraction. It's a beautiful smile, but everybody else may be giving that extra core push, and that one person just isn't. And that's a distraction. And that person still is trying. Yes, working on it. That's good. So we had the visual distraction. So now I'm going to move on. Planning. I got a little behind. Planning and executing a unit performance. Okay. When we have a strong unit look, like we were just showing those pictures, it is actually easier to see visual distractions than if we all have different costumes on. Do you realize that? When we have a unit look, and everything that you talked about, the costuming, you know, the faces, the not knowing the music, when we're all dressed the same, one person turning their head at the wrong time stands out more. So having a unit look, which we want to do, there's different ways of doing that. So we need to work harder on our not having visual distractions. We need to spend more time working in maybe smaller groups to make sure we don't have visual distractions. Now, when we're planning for our storylines, so to speak, and having this unit look, we also have like, costuming, we have makeup, we have hairstyles, we have choreography, we have all those things that we put together for a unit look. But those things help take away from the visual distraction, believe it or not. But that whole choreography, makeup, hairstyle, staging. That we're going to talk more about that with stagecraft, and that won't be given, and we won't be talking about that until November 12th at our Part B session. We'll move into that. So keep in mind visual distractions and the unit look. We can take it one step further with stagecrafting, and we'll do that November 12th. And we can also, with stagecrafting and with Unity, especially Unity, there's so many different levels. It goes back to the vocal skills. It goes back to the energy, the unit look. We could spend hours on Unity alone, and that could be a class all on its own. How do you balance Unity and authenticity? Easy for me to say. Once again, thank you, Shelley. That goes back to first vocal skills, understanding vocal skills, having that feeling of the core of the energy needed and what you're trying to portray is part of it. And we'll get into even that question even more, Shelley, right now when we go into, let's move into body alignment. This is where we actually can put it together for you, Shelley. Okay, now I want you to know that picture, when I think of my body alignment, that's the picture I see myself. Sure, my hair may be a different color, but the rest of me is exactly the same. This is exactly how I look when I'm working on my vocal skills on my warm-ups. When a performer's physical presentation captures the audience's attention, compelling them to remain engaged throughout the musical performance, this is effective visual communication. So in other words, when an audience sees the performer standing tall and moving freely, that the audience actually is seeing a command and confidence within the performer. And that is effective visual communication. You can't give good physical communication if your body alignment isn't. Sometimes it's really hard to connect to the choreography. Are you saying that's hard to connect with the core? Okay, are we really seeing the right picture? You should be seeing a picture of me felt backwards with my hair hanging down, doing like a back bend. Is that the picture everybody's seeing? And don't I look beautiful? Look how thin I am. Okay, good. Shelley says yes. Okay, Beth Ann says, okay, yes, she's got it. Okay. So for many reasons, body alignment is very, very important to our visual communication because it depends on our body alignment, what kind of emotion or what kind of attitude or command that we are giving that audience. For instance, let's all sit in our chairs and we're lifting. Now I want everybody to just kind of slump over. Okay, as we slump, what happens to our face? We kind of lose our face, don't we? It's amazing how our body alignment dictates our visual communication. So if we're sitting up straight, we automatically, I don't know why it happens, we automatically just smile a little bit more. And when we smile, we have the better vocal skills. So once again, let's sit there. Okay, now just kind of slump your shoulders, but this time stay smiling. Don't you kind of feel uncomfortable? Does it feel kind of strange? Yeah, body alignment. And it's pretty hard to convince an audience of you have confidence if you're all bent over like this. And it's hard, yes, it's hard to smile bent over. And of course, we can't sing with good vocal skills if we are bent over, because we have to have our musical instrument has to be tall and stern. Well, not stern, mean stern. I don't mean that way. But anyway, our body alignment gives us a lot of ammunition, so to speak, to communicate to our audiences. Okay, musical performance can be greatly enhanced when our instrument is allowed to be free, grounded, energized while standing and moving. So when we have proper alignment, we know that it helps our musical production, our musical performance, but we also need it for our visual performance. Once again, we just got through doing that. And as singers, we are asked to give all the sorts of different emotions in our songs. For instance, we want to be happy or we want to be sad. It happens in our body alignment. We do these emotions in our body alignment. What other emotions are we asked to do as performers, singers, as performers to do? What kind of body alignments? What kind of energy? What kind of emotions? I've mentioned sad. This is sad. Joy. If we had joy, what would their body alignment look like? It would be up high and the sternum would be lifted. Another one, excitement. Now, as soon as you see excitement, immediately I felt the core in my stomach. I lifted my body and I had excitement. Did you know mystery? That's a good one. So if we have mystery, we're lifted, but we take from our hips and we lean forward. It's a mystery. Worried. What happens with worried? If we want to have the emotional, visual body alignment with what was it? Mystery? Oh, sexy. Well, let's go back to the mystery one, I think it was. There's a different way I wanted to share with you and how that happens. When you're in mystery, you're elevated, your body language, your body angle alignment is up, but you actually lean from your hips ever so slightly, tilt the head, put the core in, and there's mystery. A secret, adding a joke, aiming for a joke. That's also good. Another one, another emotion that we use. Another one, love. Yeah, that's a great one. Reflective, that's also good. These are great. Now, if I pulled one out, let's just take one. Let's take love. Sitting where you're at, even though you're not singing, I'm going to have you say love, even though you have your mics off. So you're going to use your vocal skills. You're going to use the energy. Try to use that unseen element of energy. Also use the emotional vocal passion. Of course, you can't do unity because there's only one of you. But go ahead and do love. 1, 2, 3, love. Do any of you feel a little bit like you have goosebumps? Do the same thing again. And as you do it, I want you to lift just your sternum ever so slightly more and kind of like push on your core and say, love. Go. Okay, eyebrows are going up. You guys look beautiful. Love. Do we, yeah, the head tilts, that's good. Do we all the time when we are supposed to be doing this energy and this body alignment, do we all the time put this much effort into each and every word, every emotion? And if we don't do that, we can't have the authentic audience connection because it takes all these elements to make audience connection happen. I'm going to say it again. It takes the vocal skills. And in the vocal skills, we have what? We have singing from the heart. We have that emotional vocal passion. Then we have the energy. Yes, it does. Beth Ann wrote that depends on the type of love being communicated. Yes, such as fun, sad, playful. Yes, there's all different forms of love. You're absolutely correct, Beth Ann. But we have and then we have the energy, and then we have unity. Let's step back to the energy, Charlene. The energy, once again, really want to concentrate on that unseen special element. Once again, it comes from the core. So everything comes from the inside. Okay, let's see. Let me move down. Our next one is body alignment also contributes to the audience's impression of a performer's confidence and command of the stage. Go, body alignment. Okay, here we go. Body alignment, command of the stage. We're straight. We feel energized. We're moving freely. But if we don't stand with the perfect body alignment all the time, that confidence and the command also can be determined with the professionalism and being an engaged performer. If we have slumped shoulders, we're not really engaged. We're not really showing the audience that we care. So our body alignment is a very, very powerful tool, not only through music, but obviously through our visual communication. So what else with body alignment? We've kind of touched on this. You were ahead of me. We kind of touched on this, but let's go back to what other kind of body alignment or not does this contribute to our performance? For instance, what kind of body alignment can make the audience feel uncomfortable? Raise your hand. Body alignment, it kind of goes back to the unity that we were talking about. Body alignment that can make an audience member feel uncomfortable. Poor alignment makes people uncomfortable. Absolutely. Fiona.
The feeling that you don't want to be there and you're just putting on a show.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yes. Hopefully we don't have those very often. Anger. Yes. Anybody else? Anne.
Non-intentional movements.
Not intentional, yes. So now you're going back to that visual distraction that can make the audience feel uncomfortable, right? Yes. I just missed that. I missed that last one. Okay. Okay. What else? Also, it also affects, there isn't any variation. That's good. So you kind of get bored. If you don't have the good body alignment, you're not moving, you're not engaged in what you're singing or what your storyline you're giving, people can get bored. You're right, absolutely. That was from Shirley, I think. Flat on the feet. That's kind of like having flatlining singing. You know, you got to have the vocal skills to have that energy and the unity and the body alignment and all that stuff to make it all work together. Looking stiff and robotic. Yes. Unless we're doing a robot song, then yes, we don't want to look stiff, but that's really good. That's a good one. Phoning it in. It kind of goes back to what Anne was saying, not really, or Fiona was saying, not really wanting to be there. We as performers don't always realize what we are sharing with our audience. We go through, we kind of have a routine. I see some of you nodding your head. We think we're giving a lot, but if you notice, just for this part, for visual communication, we've only hit a few things. We've hit vocal skills a little bit. We've hit a little bit of energy. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you see you on November 12th. So we have the vocal skills, we have energy, we have a little bit of the unity, the planning of our storyline with that, and we have our body alignment. And we haven't even got through the first page of a song, and we still need all these elements. Does that make sense? It's a lot of work to be good. It's a lot of work to be an entertainer, and it takes practice. But you know what? If we do not do these things individually on our own, yes, Virginia, a lot of work. If we do not do these on our own, when we're sitting together or standing together to perform as a unit, as our chorus, we are not giving 100%. And that affects everybody. That affects not only yourself, but affects your singers on the writers with you, your sister singers, and the audience. So we have to be careful that we take the time to really step in to whatever we're doing, the alignment, all those things. So I'm going to say it again. We have vocal skills, we have energy, we have unit, we have body alignment, and all that rolls into characterization. Let's go on to characterization there. Sandy, thank you. Characterization delivers a song off the pages of a musical score and brings it to life. Now, what does that mean? Having a dramatic role to the audience involves everybody. We just got through talking about it. Involves having a touch movement, getting involved, having the audience be involved. All the elements we just talked about for characterization, the vocal skills, the energy, the unity. I know you're gonna get tired of me saying all these things. Body alignment, all those move into characterization. And if we don't use all of those, we cannot have full-on, authentic audience connection. And that's what we're striving for, is authentic audience connection. And once again, it takes a lot of work. Characterization can be achieved by each performer connecting to and personalizing the song, either by adopting the character or by singing as themselves. Now, when you're creating a characterization plan, the more information you can provide, the more clarity the performer is going to have. And that only makes sense. When we all understand the storyline and the character that we want to play, the more clarity and unity is performed. I'm going to read this right here. This sense of clarity is so important that not only the individual singer, but the unity of our ensemble. Once again, this goes back to, it can go back to visual distractions and what those are. If someone in our group doesn't know the character or the storyline, there's a distraction. They may not know their character or what they're supposed to be doing. So when we're creating a character and a storyline, there are a multitude of questions that we need to consider. A lot of things we need to think about when thinking of a storyline. What are some of the things that we need to consider when we're putting together a storyline? Multitude of questions. For instance, where are we? Are we conflict? Resolution, absolutely. Thank you, Cheryl. Who are we? There we go. Who are we? Something else. The time, the era, yes. What else do we need to ask? The backstory, what does it mean? What are we trying to portray? How old are we? Physical capabilities of the singers, that's true. We got to keep that in mind. That's a really good one. Who are we talking to? What are we talking about? What frame of mind are we in? That goes back to the energy and the unity. Who's in our audience? These are great. What are we trying to say? Until we know what we want to communicate, we can't put a character together. So these are important questions. What's the desired emotional response? Not only the emotional response for us as performers, but the emotional response from our audience. All these questions are needs, wants, and desires that we need to have for to get through our characterization and our storyline. So I think, let's see, okay, characterization, I go back on. So we are so good. So a goal of characterization is to achieve the availability of the believability and authentic performance without breaking character. Not even for a moment can we break character until we're at the predetermined time. Because once again, if we do, that goes back to visual distractions. And without, if we break character, we also are breaking the unity of our character and our unit. Breaking character. Once again, the goal to achieve believable and authentic performance of characterization is to have everybody involved, to everybody believe in what they are doing, to take the commitment of 100% to help create a character and staying in character. And that is not an easy thing to do, but we do it all the time. But we may not always have the correct vocal skills, the energy, the unity, the body alignment to add on to the characterization. Once again, they all go together. So I know we're over time. Do we want to keep going, or should we just forget about the breakout rooms? Let's go. If you don't mind, let's just continue on. Keep going. Okay, continue. Okay, let's do that then. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into breakout rooms. And during these breakout rooms, you're going to work on the 5 elements, and you know them by heart now because I'm repeating them as much as I possibly can. You're going to take the vocal skills and what we talked about with those, the vocal skills, the energy. Thank you, Jolene. Thank you. Thanks for coming. The energy, the unity, the body alignment, and the characterization. You're going to put them together, and you're going to put together like a 45-second, thank you, Luann, a 45-second presentation of a story. It can be a tag, it can be a nursery rhyme, whatever you want. But then one person, you'll come back and one person will actually do the entertaining part. Think of this like charades. Only with charades, you can't talk. This time you're going to be able to talk. So one person will talk or sing, and another person will do the actual entertainment, and we'll take it from there. Does that make sense? You'll have 45 seconds to come back and entertain us, and we'll give you about 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. Hi. I just heard Linda, so you know they are recording, so you will have this for later as well. Just
Okay, thank you.
answer your question. So
I guess I could see that up in the corner.
yeah. So let's go ahead. I don't know. Oh, we still have more coming. I know that some people had to leave because I've gone over the limit, and I apologize. But you were all so wonderful that I just kind of, believe it or not, I was just telling Sandy, I pretty much threw most of my notes out and just went for it because you're just awesome. And I appreciate you being here. So let's go ahead. Who wants to share their 45-second story or song or, oh, here they all come. Yay. Okay. Who would, oh, thank you, Sherry. I can't wait. In fact, I was asking Priscilla. I was asking the people in the group I was in what course they were from. And she said to Coeur d'Alene, I'm going to see you tomorrow, next week, I think it is. Yay. Hi, Stephanie. So let's go ahead and let's, who wants to go first? Cheryl, you have your hand up. All right, is your group going? Who's doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Cheryl.
I have my hand up. I didn't know I did.
You have a emoji hand up, so I thought you were
Oh.
going to entertain us
Well,
with your breakout room.
we got sort of something figured out.
Okay,
I have Terry Smith is going to be the singer.
okay.
Hopefully
And-
she's going to unmute here.
Terry's
I'm
going to
gonna be-
unmute.
The performer of sorts.
Okay, let's go.
Sure.
Show us.
Sure, go ahead, Terry. You can start us out here.
All right. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine.
In a cavern, in a canyon, excavating for a mine, dwelt a miner, 49er, and his daughter, Clementine.
I love it. I love the vocal texture you put on the end, Cheryl. That was excellent. That was excellent, excellent. Terry, great. That was awesome.
Thank
Good
you, thank
stuff.
you.
That was good. Good job. Anybody else? Oh, my darling. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm with Ann Wintry and Beth Ann Bach. I used to
Okay.
be Beth Ann Bach and then I changed my name, but
Okay.
okay,
So-
so how do we start? I just start singing? Oh, there I am. Okay. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. That's it.
Awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Do you know what you did? You actually, when you were doing your row, row, row your boat, you were sitting, you know, fairly tall, but when you went merrily, merrily, you actually put in more body alignment and you got taller and your facial expressions got larger. And I don't mean larger big wise, but it was more dominant and you were showing that you were happy. That was good. Merrily, merrily, you showed that you were merrily, merrily singing. That was great.
How did
Anybody else?
Ann and Beth Ann do?
But could you see Anne? Anne was acting it out. I don't know if everybody caught that.
No, I couldn't see that, but
Oh,
that was okay.
that was darn.
Should we
Do it
well,
again.
hopefully we can do this this whole class in person. I will say that this visual communication class really should be done in person, and someday I'm sure it will, because I will tell you that every element that we are talking about today and that we'll be talking about November 12th deserve their own class, but the classes should be in person. So we'll have to have a, what do you call it, road trip to have a in-person class with all these elements. So that'd be great.
If Ann wants to do it, I can go ahead and spotlight her and you can do it again.
That would be great. Real quick. Let's do that. Come on, Ann.
Ready? I'll sing. You ready, Ann? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Yeah. Excellent, Ann. That's excellent. Did you notice with her facial expression that she actually, at the beginning, row, she was showing with her body alignment and her movements that it was work, a little bit of work. And then when she got to the merrily, merrily, the rowing was a lot easier and she had a bigger smile on her face. So she was executing the visual look, the body alignment. That was good. That was really good. And a lot of energy. Good stuff. You guys are awesome. Awesome.
One thing.
Oh, Sandy. You have to. Yeah.
Hey, Virginia has to unmute too. And she's going to act it out and I'm going to sing it.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready, Virginia? Okay.
Let's go.
Here we go.
We've got energy. We've got unity. We are smiling. Who could ask for anything more? Bodies aligning. Faces are shining. Hearts together. Who could ask for anything more?
Yay. Awesome. Awesome. I notice I'm noticing there's a thread going on all the time, and that is the body alignment and the changes, and then the facial emotions are coming on. That's really good. Those are awesome. So I think we need to move on though, unless someone's desperately needing to share their beautiful performance.
That was
Somebody
fun,
desperately.
Virginia. Okay.
My sound cut out. That's okay. No problem. No problem. So I want to ask you, I want to step back. I want you to know that these groups, we may not do the same, but I would like to have the same groups work together if we can on November 12th, because that's when we're going to take whatever song you did, and maybe it won't work. We'll just see what happens. And we get to work on stagecraft on November 12th, and we get to work on musicality and creativity. But we're going to take all that we did today and add on to that. So if you can have the same song or the same character and you can kind of get together and be prepared for these other classes or other elements that we'll be working on. Stagecraft, I don't know why it is, ladies, but when I've been doing stagecraft since high school with musical productions, but I always want to call it witchcraft. But I'm thinking, if you think about it, stagecraft is kind of like witchcraft because we put costumes and makeup and all that together. Then sometimes I call it stagecoach. So anyway, just a little side note. Anyway, we'll get together. But before we do that, I want to ask you to please write down or share with me real quickly, maybe 2 or 3 things you're going to work on before November 12th that you took away today. 2 or 3 things. Anybody care to share? Jennifer, do you have your hand up, or is that just a, oh, here we go. Vocal skills, more energy. Good. Anybody else? Oh, core, that's a good one, the magic bullet. Yeah, that core works for visual and musical. That's awesome. Body alignment, singing from the core, good. Unity, emotional vocal passion, like the phrase, that's perfect. You all have some awesome stuff you're going to be working on. Hopefully you can transport this that you're doing, that you talk about today, and take it to your courses so you can actually even be bolder and bigger and better and vibrant than you already are. Great. So I want to ask you real quickly, is there any demanding comments or any questions that you want to share real quick before we close? Someone's going to breathe better. Okay, if there's no questions, then hopefully you're welcome, Evelyn. I'm hoping that we'll get to see everybody on November 12th for the second, I called it part B of visual communication, knowing what we're working on. Once again, the vocal skills today, the energy, the unity, the body alignment and characterization all melting together so we can have an authentic audience connection. That's what this is all about, and having it be consistent. That's what we talked about today. And I hope I see you all next time on November 12th. I want to thank Sandy Smith for taking care of us on the websites, doing all the ins and outs. I really, really appreciate it. And I want to thank you for coming today. I really love seeing you all, and I'll see you November 12th. Bye.